This is the world number one, Magnum PI, that's Pawn Invader for the uninitiated, and once again he's at the board doing things that only Magnus Carlsen does. This is a titled Tuesday game, it's a weekly online chess event for the most elite guild masters, and this was the late tournament. What a queen sacrifice we see in this one, truly epic. Let's dive right in. His opponent with the white pieces was just a FIDE master, but he's only 14 years old. He's on the rise, very strong at blitz. His name's Seyed Moosavifar. He's from Iran, and this is truly a great contest. He kicks off the game with the king pawn here, and Magnus now plays the very unusual knight c6. It's the Moosavifar defense. Seyed's so impressed he copies the move, and now Magnus takes us back into tried and tested waters here. We get bishop c4, and we're back in a Vienna game. Magnus develops the second pony, and this is the main move for white. It allows Magnus to do this, breaking open in principles because he sidelines the knight. He also moves a piece twice in the opening, which you shouldn't usually do, but he's picking up the bishop pair. It is justified. Seyed gets it, but he now develops fast. He's looking for initiative. Magnus takes, pawn recaptures, and he plays this pawn to c ships move, a real favourite of Fabiano's, and he's looking for that central expansion. Castles is played, bishop e7, and here we go. What does Seyed do? He roars like a chess lion. That's what many of the top players do when they push f4. Real aggressive intentions. Magnus covers his centre here, and the best move when you run it with stock barnacle is pawn a4, covering this square here. What's the significance of that? We're about to see, because it wasn't played. We see f5 sliding on by, but Magnus finds this absolutely brilliant move. Just would not occur to me, but he's got this big old bank of ideas in that massive brain. He plays pawn to b5, not only setting up this beautiful bathtub, one of our favourite pawn formations here at epicchess. Do consider subscribing if you haven't already, really helps my self-esteem. But also after takes, which was played, thank you very much, free pawn, gobble gobble, this is the idea. You set up that big black centre, and if white keeps on munching here, then you really thrust forward, take the whole space, and where's that knight headed? Some very smelly squares. Say you hop forward like this, well, the queen can come out, you're soon going to recoup the pawn, and look at the pressure on this one now. Not easy to defend with bishop b7 on the way. Let's stop there. Different game, didn't happen. Instead, we see takes in the centre. Magnus fully in control now of all those squares. The bishop streams out, looking to undermine a defender of the centre, so Magnus develops, defends the pawn at the same time. Best way to develop now is with queen d3, centralise a cannon, but instead this knight rotates here, not quite what you're looking for in this system. You know, you'd rather have the pawns in front, rush that king. Magnus has got lots of good aggressive moves, excuse me. For example, running the h-pawn down, but he instead castles, does shed a bit of his advantage here, because after queen e2, pawn h6, he should play a move, but is it going to come? Best here is actually captured, because this one's now getting a bit clumsy, but it wasn't played, it drops back. No time for g5 or white's taking en passant. So instead rook e8, rook a d1, and this is where Magnus should really check. It's the way to go, you clear this square for the rook, but he doesn't do it. He plays rook c8 instead, king h1, and now he doesn't get the right structure in the center. He pushes forward with e4. It allows some crazy tactics here, all kicking off with bishop takes on f6. You remove the critical defender of the center, and now can you find the brilliant tactical shot which Seyed comes up with? Well done if you can see the move. It's knight takes on e4, using all of these pins galore, and you're threatening to take here with check. pawn can't take, or the queen drops. So Magnus takes on b2. Now you could go c4, great move, hitting the bishop, also pressuring the center, but instead f6 is played, also strong, and technically you should ignore it, develop the queen, apparently, according to the metal monster. But Magnus slides on by, c4 again strong, but queen e3 is selected, down to low time now, looking to attack. Lifting with the rook is good here, and then covering with the queen. But Magnus plays this very natural move. You could take on a7, hit this bishop, but not selected. Seyed wants to attack, so he's snaking in the lady around that king. Magnus whispers, do you even rook lift, bro? And after queen h4, setting up a monster threat, this is where we get the truly epic moment. And just before we dive in, you probably missed the live stream earlier, but I was covering the absolutely fantastic Internet Chess Club, ICC for short. Shout out for them. This is a truly epic chess website that I wanted to draw your attention to. There's a link down in the description if you want to go and check it out. Established in 1995, it's literally the oldest place to play chess in the world. Basically, Hikaru started there, Magnus started there, and they've been pumping a load of investment in, revamping the homepage, getting the menu on point. You've got the usual stuff, puzzles, a daily puzzle with nice history. You can play bots, you can play other players, and because it's not so massive like some of the other chess websites, right, you get that nice community feel right now, but it is growing fast. You know, get over there, have a look at it. Really nice site and really on the up right now. Good set of chess blokes running that thing. Have a look, thank me later. Let's dive right into this game now to finish things off, because the threat here is to go knight g5 check and win the rook. You know, the pawn is pinned, but Magnus now comes up with the absolutely fantastic pawn takes on e4 here.
And what?
And he opens up the queen to the attack, sacrificing it. Of course it's taken. Rook recaptures. What's he got for the lady? Well, a rook, a bishop, and a very dangerous running pawn. Although he is a pawn down, his own king could get drafty. Queen f4 is now played, looking for an invasion square. Magnus covers it, and now h4, one of the best moves, trying to rip open the black king. But we see queen e3, never the best blockader of a pawn. Now it's hit by Magnus's bishop, the queen drops back, and the pawn advances. Shuts down this guy, but opens up this guy. Very dangerous long-range sniper. Rook d1's a good move for the counterplay. You could double stack now, but instead Magnus wins a pawn, and if you go queen g4, it does keep the game a bit weird. You hit here, there's stuff going on. Now bringing the rook back is the best move to play. Sorry, can't find my voice today. But what we see in the game is this pawn c3 move, and it looks like you're winning a clean piece because you're on the bishop. If it moves, the rook drops. But here comes the world blitz co-champion with a rude awakening with the rook invasion, and after this queen now moves to g4, there's a problem, and it's the danger of the king, the danger of the running pawn. Many moves are winning here. Rook e7, leaving the bishop to hang, or you could take here first, and then after pushing the pawn, if knight takes, you can actually create these incredible mating threats. You know, rook drops. This is actually a checkmate. So lots of options, but Magnus just blitzes e2, and it's enough for his opponent to capitulate, lose on time. But even if the knight had captured, there's still a great variation with rook e3, or bishop e3, sorry, because the rook can't be taken, or you get branked. That's back ranked mated. And if you don't therefore take the rook, you know what to play. Knight d4, a top move, but then black can slowly improve. Look to bring in the rook, converge on this pawn. You could cover, but then the rook can slide here, start attacking this guy. We'll pause there. There's no knockout blow. It's just a slow motion grind, and the white king is very, very exposed right now. The bishop's too powerful, especially, of course, this one's going to cave at any moment. So this was an epic game from Magnus, sacking the queen, getting the tactical finish. Do have a look at the Internet Chess Club, link down in the description. And if you want some more epic chess, then have a look at the video on screen. Cheers.